What I'm going to be speaking about here is nothing new. It's that the individual is a co-partner, co-creator with Hashem. But to feel that as an embodiment, that's what's new. Intellectually, this is normative Judaism. And one repeats it and this and that. But does one feel it in the body, and how does it relate in my own body? There are two types of lights. There's an Or Yashar and a Or Hoser. A straight direct light down that comes from Hashem, and then there's a returning light, and that returning light is actually man. And how does it bounce? Where is the reverberation? Where is the bounce? The bounce is in Malkus. And so there's two lights. I've always been in the direct light, in the Or Yosher, the straight light down. Even in my body work, I've always thought that the light is coming down. See? So I'm doing it from the head. From the head. I'm lining up everything from the head. In body work, there are actually two directions. You can either do it from the head down, like they do in kind of Feldenkrais work, or you can do it from the feet up, where that was Rolfing. Rolfing, the first session was with the feet. So the whole idea is to realize that these are two lights. It's like a bouncing ball. If you dribble, the ball goes down and then it comes back up. And that reverberates and reflects off of the ground, the grunt. And so man is in the grunt. Even in a phrase like Bishvili Nivra Ha'olam, the world was created for me. The word Bishvili means two paths. Could this be, when you're talking about paths, that's halakha, that's the walk, could that be the right and left foot? So when we're dealing from the ground up. And I never did, because I never thought I was a co-partner. I never thought that the world was created for me. I thought that Hashem was everything. And so I'm a co-partner. Hashem put me here with a direct light for my returning light. See? And as it's brought down, the returning light goes higher. The returning light is the Zion, where the direct light down is the Vav. The returning light is Zion. It's 67. It's Elul. It's Bina. It's the left. The left goes higher than the right. And what is Keter Malkus? The whole idea of Keter Malkus is say they rises on top. No, Keter Malkus is the Keter of the returning light from Malkus of the direct light. Malkus goes to the ground, and then Keter brings it back up, the feminine return. Feminine return. Keter Malkus, which is 1116, and that's the name of Shimon. And then Shimon is my brother's name. And when I discovered this, and for my tennis, I was wearing an old pair of his shoes. ground. I was walking in his shoes. It was the ground. And so now for my tennis, see, I've always been hand oriented on top. See, from the right. But now it's from the bottom to the top. I still play with the hand, but the other parts go first. Instead of it being the first part, the hand, it's now the fifth part, the hand. Because the entire body moves and then the hand. So the entire body moves and then you swing the hand. And this is all from the idea of the Yosha and the Hoser, the returning light. This comes in some other very deep issues of what I'm talking about this year in the first Perek in the first Mishnah of Pesachim, where they talk about the Or of the 14th. That Or, which also is 207, which is also Ein Sof. And that Or, the concept of Or originates from a direct light down. It comes from Hashem. It's the sun and the Or, the light. And then what do? We have to search for Hametz, which is the Yetzer Hara. But Hametz can also be the animal soul, because this Hametz is searched for in the house, in the body, and it's done by a nair of a candle. And this nair of a candle, in its full gematria, nair is 606. 606 in its gematria, and 500 for Resh and 106 for Nun. That's 606, and that's Atzmutz. And that Atzmutz level is higher than in the Ein Sof. It's the higher, and so the nair that you do and that you search for with the light of the nair is the Atzmutz Ein Sof level. It's higher than the Ein Sof. It's its center. It's Atzmutz. And so the Or nair of the Or is the Atzmutz Ein Sof. This is so high. So this is the returning light, because the man has to make the nair of the candle. God makes the Or of the sun, but man makes the nair, the light of the candle. He has to get the wick and the wax and the match, and it's his light. The nair is the returning light. And this returning light is the Atzmutz level of everything. Because the man comes from the Atzmutz level of Ein Sof, of Hashem. The Atzmutz level is man. Everything was created for me. What am I? To find it and to experience it. And so now I'm experiencing it on the tennis court. Bodily, animal soul wise, from the mamish level of the Malkuth. And Keter Malkuth is the Keter of the returning light to come back up. That's what that is. So these, I've experienced it through my body, where I used to keep the body quiet, so to speak, more from the hands, but the energy has to come. The hands, it's still in the hands, but it has to come from the below. It has to rise from below. And when it rises from below, then it comes out of the hand. Not from down. It has to come from the ground. And those are the different kinds of courts and ground strokes. There's a second hit after the whole body does the hit. Then it comes. You see, gets out of the way, so to speak. And then there's a swing, throwing the ball, throwing the body at the ball. This is very deep level of essence level. And that's only because one accepts himself as a co-partner, or as I've said, co-pilot, as a co-partner with Hashem. And that you've been put here. You're doing the work. You're doing the physical work. You're an Aved Hashem. You see? You're doing it. So now I have a body feel for this that I never had before. And what can I say? For me, that's beautiful. I've said all these things here because I want to relate. You know, I have to kind of remember these things. But it's now from the ground up. Now I'm here. I'm going to be doing some running also from the ground, getting the energy from the, you know, from the depths, the 15,000 amots rise up from the 16,000 amots in the depths and leave 1,000 amots as a depth. Get the energy from that and build the posture and movement from the bottom level rather than from the top down. You see how that is?